Good morning, my dear students. Today let us discuss the next topic from the lesson, chemical bonding. From this lesson till now we have completed Lewis dot structure and electronic theory of valence. In that electronic theory of valence we have discussed about ionic bond and covalent bond, and in the previous class we have completed that valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, and today we are going to discuss about valence bond theory. Valence bond theory or orbital concept theory. To describe the covalent bonding, quantum mechanical model called valence bond theory suggested by Linus Pauling in the year 1954. Okay, till now we have studied about electronic theory of valence, and the second one it is Vesper theory. Valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. In those two theories we have mostly explained these bondings based on the Lewis dot structure. Moreover, Lewis dot structure it is explaining the how many valence electrons are there. Based on those valence electrons and attaining the octet, all those things we are discussed mostly depends on the valence electrons. But here in this valence bond theory, we are going to discuss about the covalent bonds. How these covalent bonds are forming. This is mostly depends on the orbital overlapping. Let us see how it is happening. A covalent bond formed between two atoms by overlapping of orbitals which have unpaired electrons with opposite spins in their valence shells. Mostly the bond is forming between the valence electrons only, of course. But here we are discussing the overlapping of orbitals. When we are talking about the orbitals, the shape of the orbitals also is a matter. So, if the shape of the orbital, if it is s orbital, it is a spherical shape. Whereas in p orbital, that is dumbbell shape. If it is a d orbital, it is in double dumbbell shape. So many types of, so many shapes of the orbitals we know. So if a covalent bond is found between two atoms, if those two atoms are overlaps, that means the overlapping of that particular orbitals. What type of orbitals those are? If those orbitals have unpaired electrons, that too with opposite spins. Here, do you remember that spin quantum number? Spin quantum number mainly it is telling about the spin type. That is only two types, two orientations only there, that is plus half and minus half. That is upward direction one and one more it is downward direction. Here in this particular orbitals, if unpaired electrons are there, that unpaired electrons must have opposite spins. Then only those orbitals will overlap. That so formed bond is covalent bond. Let us see the valence bond theory, what it is explaining. The so formed paired electrons in the overlapping orbitals are attracted to the nuclei of both the atoms. We know that one. If one orbitals are overlapping, one particular orbital from one particular atom and one more orbital of another atom, if they come closer and they overlaps, then the shared pair of electron, that means if the paired electrons, single electrons in that particular orbitals, they come closer and they overlap, then the paired electrons belongs to both the nuclei. This bonds the two atoms together. This electron pairs, that is the reason that only bonding the two atoms together. Let us see an example. Hydrogen molecule here. See here. One hydrogen atom, it consists of one single electron, that too with upward direction spin. Whereas another hydrogen atom, it is having an unpaired electron with opposite spin. One is in upward direction, another one it is in opposite direction. So the condition is matching here. Two orbitals, they are ready to overlap. They are having two unpaired electrons each and with opposite spins. Now They come closer and they overlap. Now, the paired electron in this molecule, in this hydrogen molecule, the paired electron belongs to both the nuclei. This pair of electrons makes the bond. That means makes the two atoms together. Let us see how many types of bonds are there. The greater the overlapping of the orbitals, the stronger will be the bond. If this overlapping it is greater, then the so formed bond also it is much stronger. This gives a directional character. This bonding gives us a direction when other than s orbitals are involved. Why? Because s orbital shape it is spherical shape. There is no direction at all. But whereas p orbital, it is giving us a direction because there are three p orbital, that is px, py and pz. Px means along the x-axis and py means along the y-axis, whereas pz means along the z-axis. So it gives us the direction also. Each bonded atom maintains its own atomic orbitals, but the electron pair in the overlapping orbitals is shared by both the atoms involved in the overlapping. Just now we have seen in the example of hydrogen molecule, each hydrogen atom maintains its own atomic orbital with single unpaired electron. But whereas after bonding, that means after the hydrogen molecule formed, the electron pair in the overlapping orbitals is shared by both the atoms in the, that means both the nuclei. They belongs to both the atoms. If two atoms form multiple bonds between them, the first bond is due to the overlap of orbitals along the internuclear axis and it is giving a stronger sigma bond. Of course, we are talking about the bonds now. How many bonds? If it is a single bond, there is no problem at all. If it is more than one bond, how the bond should be? Which one is stronger among these bonds? The first formed bond, that means the first overlapping orbitals, that overlapping is how it is along the internuclear axis. That kind of overlapping gives us a stronger bond. That stronger bond is named as sigma bond. The sigma bond is stronger because the electron pair shared is concentrated more between the two nuclei due to end-end or head-on overlap and attracted to both the nuclei. Just now we have seen in hydrogen molecule, the shared pair electron pair that belongs to both the nuclei, and how this overlapping happens due to end-end or head-on overlapping. They come closer and end-end overlapping happened here. So the sigma bond is stronger because the shared pair is concentrated more between the two nuclei and the bond is end-end overlapping or head-on overlapping. Let us see an example here. Let us see how these bonds are, how these sigma bonds will form. In between two s orbitals like this, the sigma bond will be. The overlapping is like this. That means end-end overlapping, it is called sigma bond. And in between s and p orbital, the sigma bond will be like this. Sp, sigma sp bond it is. That means one s orbital and one p orbital. Here, two p orbitals, they overlap. This is sigma pp. These three are sigma bonds, but here it is s bond. There is no, it does not give any directional for us, but here if p orbitals involved means it gives us the direction. Okay, about sigma bond, we know that is a stronger bond. The next bond, what it is? After formation of sigma bond, the other bonds are formed due to the overlap of orbitals sidewise or laterally, giving us weaker pi bonds. Now, first bond, that is sigma bond, that one is along the axis or end-end overlapping or head-on overlapping. How this overlapping here? It is sidewise or lateral overlapping. This sideways or lateral overlapping gives us weaker bond. That weaker bond is called as pi bond. The pi bond overlap gives a weaker bond. What is the reason? Due to lateral overlap of p orbitals, which is not to greater extent. If it is along the axis, there is no problem at all. But if it is y-axis and z-axis, those y-axis and z-axis, those are they will overlap sideways or lateral. This sideways and lateral overlap is not that much strong. So the so formed bond is weaker bond, and this is called pi bond. Example, see here. If one atom of particular py and pz orbitals are ready to overlap with another atom of py and pz orbital, if they come closer and overlap together, then the first formed bond, it is along the axis, this is sigma bond, whereas lateral or sideways overlap, the second bond, it is pi bond. So the first formed bond, sigma bond, in between py and py orbitals, that is stronger bond. The second bond, it is in between pz and pz orbital, that is overlapping between pz and pz orbitals, that is called pi bond. Are you clear? Let us see the chlorine molecule formation, how the orbitals are overlapped here. Chlorine atomic number, it is 17. In chlorine molecule, 2 chlorine atoms has to overlap here. Atomic number, so electronic configuration, let us see 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3px2, 3py2 and 3pz1. In the formation of chlorine molecule, the 3pz orbital of one chlorine atom containing an unpaired electron. See here 3pz1. So 3pz orbital contains one unpaired electron, and this chlorine unpaired electron overlaps the 3pz orbital of other chlorine atom that contains one more unpaired electron, and the condition it is they must have opposite spin. See, this is the first chlorine atom and this is second chlorine atom. So here now the 3pz orbitals, they overlap here and they forms chlorine molecule. Here the electron pair, the shared electron pair belongs to both the nuclei of chlorine. And the newly formed chlorine molecule, we can symbolize this one like this also. How the HCl molecule is formed, let us see. The 1s orbital hydrogen atom containing unpaired electron, and this 1s orbital unpaired electron overlaps with unpaired orbital of in chlorine atom. What is the where is the unpaired electron? In 3pz orbital. Now these two overlap together because the two unpaired electrons are of opposite spins. See here hydrogen 1s1, whereas chlorine we know in 3pz there is an unpaired electron with opposite spin. This is hydrogen atom and this is chlorine atom with opposite spins. They come closer and here they form hydrogen chloride molecule. This one we can represent it like this also. See here, we can represent it like this also because these two here sigma sp bond formed here because of end-end overlapping of s orbital and p orbital. The newly formed orbital, it is sp orbital here. So sigma sp bond it is there. Why we are representing this like this? Because here in sp bond more p character it is there rather than s character. So it can be represented as like this, the shape. Let us see the formation of nitrogen molecule. Here how many atoms has to combine and what kind of bond here. We have learned in the previous class among two nitrogen atoms. We have learned that either single bond or double bond or triple bond. Yes, here in nitrogen molecule triple bond it is there. Electronic configurations in 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1 and 2pz1. How many unpaired electrons are there here? 3. Along x-axis 1 and along y-axis 1 and along z-axis 1. See here 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1 and 2pz1. Similarly, one more nitrogen atom, the electronic configuration, but having opposite spins. The condition satisfied. So, the orbitals, they overlap. So, here this is along x-axis, along y-axis and along z-axis of one nitrogen atom. This is for another nitrogen atom. Observe carefully. Now, they overlap each other. So, first along x-axis, they overlap the first formed bond, it is sigma bond. Along the internuclear axis, that is a strong bond. The purple color one, x-axis, now the end overlap between the two nitrogen atoms of x-axis, 2px orbitals. So, the bond, it is sigma bond, that is stronger bond, the first bond. Next formed bonds are called pi bonds. Let us see. The y-axis, along the y-axis, the second bond formed, that is the weaker bond, pi bond. Here, one more orbital it is there, that is along the z-axis, the orange color one, that is also pi bond. So, here in nitrogen molecule, sigma px, px bond and pi py, py and pi pz, pz. So, in nitrogen, it is the triple bond is present in between two nitrogen atoms. So, 3 bonds are there. Triple bond we are calling this one. And among these 3 bonds, one is sigma bond. How many pi bonds are there? 2 pi bonds. Got it? Let us see how the orbitals overlap in oxygen molecule. Atomic number 8 and electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py1 and 2pz1. Let us write the orbitals here. 2px2 and 2py1, 2pz1. So, one more oxygen atom with opposite spins of 2py1 and 2pz1. So, here the condition is okay now. So, unpaired electrons in 2py orbital and 2pz orbitals of both oxygen atoms and with opposite spins. This is 2py1 and 2pz1 of one oxygen atom, and this is another oxygen atom's orbitals. Now, they overlap each other. The first bond, it is among py and py. The first bond is stronger bond here. So, this is sigma bond, but the next bond it is along the z-axis, that is lateral or sidewise bond, that is called pi bond. So, in water molecule, sigma py bond and pi pz bonds are there. So, this is a double bond. So, one sigma bond and one pi bond in oxygen molecule. Go through the textbook and practice these orbitals, molecules formation. This is for today. Thank you.